Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hari Bol to Ritesh Prabhu and Pawan Prabhu for leading the chanting today. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamannati Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Desh Tarine जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. Okay, so let's continue with our recitation of Sri Govardhana Ashtakam. Anybody else would like to try singing today? Okay. All right, Meenakshi Mohini would like to sing then.
कृष्णा प्रसादेन समस्तशैला साम्राज्यमाप्नोति च वैरुणोऽपि सक्रर्षेह प्राप बालिं स साक्षात् गोवर्धनो मे दिशतामभीष्टम् स्वप्रेष्टं हस्ताम्बुजसौ कुमार्या सुखानुभूतेरतिभूमिवृत्ते महेन्द्रवर्षाहतिमाप्यजानं गोवर्धनो मे दिशताम् अभीष्टम् यत्रैव कृष्णो वृषभानुपुत्र्य दारां गृहीतुं कलहं वितीने श्रुते स्पृहायत्र महता दाश्री गोवर्धनो मे दिशतामभीष्टम् स्नत्वा सरस्वासु समीरहस्ति यत्रैव निपादिपरागधूलि आलोलयं खेलति चारुसाश्री गोवर्धनो मे दिशतामभीष्टम् कस्तूरिकाभिः स्वैतं किमत्रे ऊहं प्रभो स्वमुहुर्वितान्वान् नैसर्गिका सेव्यशीला सुगन्धिर् गोवर्धनो मे दिशतामभीष्टम् वंशा प्रदीवैव अनुसारवृत्मा दिग्दृश्वयो यत्र हरिं हरण्य यन्त्यो लभन्ते न हि विस्मिताशा गोवर्धनो मे दिशतामभीष्टम् यत्रैव गङ्गाम् अनुनाविराधाम् आरोह्य मध्ये तु निगमा नौका कृष्णो हि राधा नकुलो बभूषा गोवर्धनो मे दिशतामभीष्टम् वीणा भवेत् किं हरिदासवर्या पादाश्रयं भक्तिरताश्रयामि यम् एव सा प्रेम निजेशयो श्री गोवर्धनो मे दिशताम् अभीष्टम् एतत् पठेत् यो हरिदासवर्या महानुभावाष्टकम् अर्धचेता श्रीराधिका माधवयोपदाब्ज दास्यं स विन्देत अचिरेण साक्षात् गोवर्धनो मे दिशतामभीष्टम् गोवर्धनो मे दिशतामभीष्टम् हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे श्री गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय.
Shri Govardhana Ashtakam ki jai, Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, we are ready for translation. Anybody would like to take
Yeah,
over
I can read,
since?
Prabhu. Yeah.
Hari Bol, yes. Please go ahead, Karthik.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. May Govardhana hill, which by Krishna's mercy became the king of all mountains and received the respectful tribute of its archenemy Indra, fulfill my desire. As it was held above the earth, it became so filled with happiness by experiencing The softness of its beloved Krishna's lotus hand, it did not even know it was being struck by Indra's thunderbolt. May Govardhana hill fulfill my desire. Trying to collect a toll, Krishna quarreled there with uh, King Rishabhanu's daughter. The personified Vedas yearn to list to that quarrel. May Govardhana his fulfill my desire. Bathing in a nearby lake, the elephant of a pleasant breeze, covered with pollen of kadamba and other flowers, gracefully placed there. May Govardhana hill fulfill my desire. Does the sweet of fragrance of Govardhana come from the musk deer who relax there, from the Lord who placed there, or is it Govardhana's own natural scent? May Govardhana hill fulfill my desire. Searching there for Lord Hari on the path of his flute music, the astonished deer do not find him. May Govardhana hill fulfill my desire. Searching Searching there for Lord Hari on the path of his flute music. Sorry, I think I just read that. As the divine couple traveled on the Ganges, there the boat began to sink in the middle. Krishna was splendidly handsome as Radha clung to his neck. May Govardhana hill fulfill my desire. Without taking shelter of the feet of the hill, that is the best of Lord Hari's servants and full of love for the divine king and queen, how is it possible to attain pure devotional service? May Govardhana hill fulfill my desire. May the reader of these 8 verses glorifying Lord Hari's greatest servant, his heart melting with pure love, quickly attain direct service to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radha Madhava. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So nice. Thank you, Karthik Prabhu. Nice to hear your voice in the morning. Okay.
Thanks, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. All right. So, with that wonderful offering, let's transition to Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit, chapter 46. So, as this prayer is glorifying Giriraj Govardhan, who is in one way Krishna and is on another way is also the topmost devotee of the Lord, the foremost devotee of the Lord. So like that, there are so many wonderful qualities of Giriraj Govardhan, and we can see so many wonderful qualities of Srila Prabhupada as one of the pure devotees of the Lord. So, yeah, we are right now in the passage where Prabhupada is now traveling between Chicago, and after Chicago, he has now come to Philadelphia. And we see in where, just like wherever the Lord's pure devotees travel, there is always attention, and then there is always a crowd gathering there. So now Prabhupada, of course, now it is 1975, so he has been in the country for almost 10 years now. But yeah, the reception that he's getting at all the airports, and of course some statements that he made is also attracting all these reporters and TV crew to come and interview him. So, but Prabhupada is teaching the 101 of Krishna consciousness, like we have this, what is that, for dummies, right? These books, this language for dummies, that language for dummies, like that. So Prabhupada is now teaching Krishna consciousness 101 for all the dummies who have no idea of why they are here, what they are supposed to be doing, and how they're supposed to be doing, right? So how they can go back home, back to Godhead. So Prabhupada is teaching very, very basic terms to all these reporters of what the fault with the modern civilization is, right? As to why we are suffering in this world, that we are spiritual sparks, but we are taken this material body, and we are forgotten our true identity. So, and we are just learning after all these temporary things, and which is like Prabhupada is giving here an example of this junkyard, all these cars they're just like a piece of junk, all these skyscrapers, they are just building and then breaking. Nothing is permanent, but we have to look for the permanent, which is only available in our eternal home when we go back to the spiritual world. So Prabhupada is giving all this knowledge, which is hopefully easy to understand. But again, only those who have some sukriti, they'll be able to understand. Not everybody has the spiritual pious credit to understand this eternal knowledge, because this is Rajavidya, Rajaguyam. It is, even though it is the king of all knowledge, but it is a treasure, hidden treasure. Only those who have accrued the diamond of spiritual credit can understand this or can buy this, right? Because to buy a diamond, like Prabhupada used to give the example, not everybody can buy a diamond. Only those who have the credit can buy the diamond. So like that. Okay, so let's continue. So Prabhupada is now driving through Philadelphia. So they rode around the sharply winding curves alongside the Schuylkill River. Passing Fairmount Park, the devotees pointed out to Prabhupada that it contained 1,000 acres of forest land. Prabhupada asked Kirtananda Swami how far it was to New Vrindavan, and they began talking. When Prabhupada asked about the Grihasthas there, Kirtananda replied, "We are developing very nice householder couples at New Vrindavan, very good families." "This is essential," said Prabhupada. "The peaceful life of householders, that is required." The ISKCON center was a converted two-story house. The temple room was packed with devotees, and others filled the hallway, straining to see Prabhupada as he entered. "Thank you very much for your kind reception," said Srila Prabhupada from his seat in the temple room. "The press reporters were asking me that why do we make distinction between man and woman and black and white? But we make distinction not in that way." Srila Prabhupada explained that the attempt to make everyone equal materially would be a failure always, just as the United Nations attempt at unity was a failure. Bhagavad Gita states that one with equal vision recognizes the differences between the bodies, but sees all beings as one spiritually. Srila Prabhupada continued, "If we make unfair distinction between man and woman or black and white, then how in our temple are we all enjoying together? Because we are actually equal on the spiritual platform. We do not say that you are a woman, so you cannot become my disciple, or you are black, therefore you cannot become my disciple. No, we welcome everyone. So that people may not misunderstand, you can just issue one statement that we say, if you want to see everyone equally, treat everyone equally. Then you have to come to the spiritual platform, Krishna consciousness. Materially, it is not possible, but the aim should be one. If artificially you do not make distinction, that will not stay. Just like in your country, the blacks and whites, they have equal rights. But why they fight sometimes? Racial fight, because it is on a material platform. Our point is that you come to the spiritual platform, and then this equality will be possible. Practically, you can see here while you are chanting, dancing, the boy is dancing, the father is dancing, the black is dancing, the white is dancing, the young is dancing, the old is dancing. You can see practically everyone dancing, and they are not artificially dancing like dog, but by spiritual ecstasy. After his talk, Prabhupada called for questions. Ravindra Sarupa, what is the best way to deal with skepticism? Prabhupada, skepticism, rascalism, devotees laugh. We are not going to deal with rascalism. We are going to deal with sense. Skepticism, they do not believe in anything. Everything is false. They are so disappointed. They think everything is false. We are not going to deal with such men. What is the use? Is not that skepticism? What is that skepticism? Ravindra Swarupa, disappointment, that's all. Prabhupada, so why should one be disappointed? We say that you should come to the spiritual platform and you will be happy. We want to deliver him from the platform of his disappointment. Sometimes one being very disappointed commits suicide. We say, why are you disappointed? You come to the spiritual platform and you will be happy. So we are not going to accept his philosophy, skepticism, but we want to deliver him from his fallen condition. That is our mission. The living entity, the spirit soul, is by nature happy. There is no question of disappointment. You see Krishna's picture anywhere. How happy they are. The gopis are happy. The cowherd boys are happy. Krishna is happy. Simply happiness. Where is disappointment? So you come to that platform and then you will also be happy. Come to Krishna. Come and dance with Krishna. Eat with Krishna. That is information we are giving. What is the question of disappointment? Come to Krishna. Krishna therefore personally comes to show how happy he is in Vrindavan. And he is inviting, come to me. Prabhupada continued his ecstatic description of happiness in Krishna consciousness and then concluded, is that all right? Many voices together answered, yes. There was no disappointment or skepticism in Srila Prabhupada's presence. Srila Prabhupada had come to Philadelphia primarily for the Rath Yatra. Since 1970, the devotees had been holding Rath Yatra in Philadelphia, although the early festivals had been small. For the first festival, the devotees had taken small deities on procession on a decorated cigar box. They had placed the deities on an altar on the bank of the Schuylkill River and had held Kirtana while people picnicked and lay around in the sunshine. The next year's festival had been a little bigger, with foot high deities riding on a palanquin. It was still not a very ambitious festival, but Srila Prabhupada had written in appreciation. I'm so glad to hear how nicely you performed Rath Yatra festival. Next year, you can perform the regular ceremony with the cart as we are doing in San Francisco and London. That will be very nice. It doesn't matter if you construct a small one, but you can hold a festival. Ravindra Swarupa had become temple president just after Prabhupada's letter had arrived, and he had resolved to have a real Rath Yatra cart for 1972. So the devotees had done it. A small cart, but a cart pulled in procession down to Washington Square Park. By 1973, they had made a large cart, and devotees from other cities had come to help with the festival. Again, Srila Prabhupada responded, at Rath Yatra, there must be either one or three carts. It is very good news to hear that one television station is interested to do a special program on the Rath Yatra festival. These festivals are good for showing to the people in general that Krishna consciousness is real enjoyment. Everything else is simply artificial. Your plans for Rath Yatra festival are very nice. In the summer of 1974, Ravindra Swarupa had written to Prabhupada about the preaching activities in Philadelphia and had sent photos of their Jagannath deities. Srila Prabhupada had been moved by the pictures. I want to thank you 100 times for the excellent way you are worshipping the deity there, as I can see from the color photographs you have sent. From my childhood, I was also worshipping Lord Jagannath. When I was 6 years old, my father gave me a Ratha, and I was performing the Rath Yatra in my neighborhood. Now, in the Western world, you are worshipping Lord Jagannath so gorgeously, and it pleases me very much. Thank you again for the way you are conducting the deity worship in the Philadelphia temple. As for the Rath Yatra ceremony, you should go on with it, and I shall attend there next year. But you go on holding a splendid ceremony for the people of the city. I'm sure that it will be a success. In 1975, Srila Prabhupada had written from Denver, assuring the Philadelphia devotees, yes, I am coming to your city on Friday morning, July 11, 1975, from Chicago. I look forward to meeting the professors. Therefore, when the devotees in Chicago had tried to convince Prabhupada to stay and attend their festival, scheduled at the same time as Philadelphia's, he had declined. Shortly after Srila Prabhupada's arrival, it began to rain all day Friday and all day Saturday. When time came for Prabhupada's morning walk and rain was still pouring, he said, so today I will take my walk by riding. Getting into his car along with some of his sannyasis and GBC men, he set off in the rain for a ride through Fairmount Park. The rain continued on Saturday right up until the time for the Rath Yatra parade. The parade was to start at Independence Mall, head down Walnut Street to Broad, Circle City Hall, and end on the grassy slope behind the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Prabhupada rode into the city, where he was to meet the Rath Yatra cart halfway through the procession. The rain had stopped, but dark clouds still hung ominously overhead. Majestically, the large 40-foot high cart moved down Walnut Street. By the time it reached 11th Street, Srila Prabhupada had gotten out of his car 2 blocks away and was walking toward Lord Jagannath. A large group of devotees surrounded Prabhupada, and the devotees on the cart could see him approaching. The two groups joined, and the Kirtana swelled. Standing before the cart now, Srila Prabhupada got down on his hands and knees and touched his head to the road in obeisance to Lord Jagannath. This cart was the best yet, Prabhupada said. He especially liked the large, strong wheels, ornately decorated with small, round, and diamond-shaped mirrors. Mounting the cart, he took his seat beneath the deities, and for the first time in days, the clouds parted and the sun shone through. Now people started pouring out of offices and stores. They lined the sidewalks and came out into the road to join the procession. As the cart circled City Hall, the sound of the devotees singing became magnified, echoing off the tall buildings. The crowd was the largest ever at any Philadelphia Rath Yatra. Hecklers, Christian fundamentalists with big banners reading, Get Smart, Get Saved, and Repent or Burn were ineffectual amid the large crowd and the uproarious kirtan. At one point, when Srila Prabhupada appeared particularly satisfied, a devotee on the cart leaned over and asked Srila Prabhupada what he thought of the festival. Prabhupada replied that he was thinking the American Vaishnavas were now permanently in the West. The park behind the art museum was crowded with people waiting. Srila Prabhupada took his seat on stage and began lecturing over the public address system. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I wish to thank you, the inhabitants of this great city, Philadelphia. You're so kind and enthusiastic in taking part in this movement. So I'm very much obliged to you. I'm especially obliged to the American boys and girls who are helping me so much in spreading this Krishna consciousness movement in the Western countries. Prabhupada explained how all living entities are eternal, but having taken material bodies, are subject to the tribulations of birth, death, disease, and old age. In the human form, the soul can choose to go back to the spiritual world or to suffer birth after birth in this material world. But why should we remain in this material body and undergo repetition, change of body? Prabhupada asked. Let us have our original spiritual body. That is wanted. That is intelligent. Prabhupada explained the science of chanting Hare Krishna and invited everyone to try it. We don't charge anything for this Hare Krishna mantra, he said. We are chanting everywhere, as you saw in this Rath Yatra. Our only means is chanting Hare Krishna, and these thousands of men are following simply by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So you can understand what is the potency of this Hare Krishna mantra. We do not pay you, ladies and gentlemen, for anything to follow us, but we simply chant Hare Krishna. So it is very potent. You will never feel tired chanting Hare Krishna. You see practically, you can go on chanting 24 hours. You will never feel tired. Therefore it is said, Golokera Premadhana Hari Nama Sankirtanam. This chanting vibration is coming from the spiritual world. Srila Prabhupada talked about the inner meaning of Rath Yatra. Radharani is meeting Krishna at Kurukshetra and trying to bring him back to Vrindavan. It is a very ecstatic feeling, he said. Those who are advanced devotees, they can enjoy. Concluding his address, he invited everyone to look at the Krishna conscious literature and try to understand. The devotees had prepared 1200 pounds of halwa and large quantities of vegetables, sweets, and fruit punch, which they very efficiently served to the crowd. Prabhupada was satisfied with everything and returned to his house, while the devotees continued until sunset, feasting, chanting, and hosting thousands of festival goers. The day after Rath Yatra, Srila Prabhupada met with a room full of people, including two reporters and several parents of his disciples. The reporters were Miss Sandy Nixon, a freelance writer, and from the Philadelphia Inquirer, Miss Jones, the same woman who had spoken to Srila Prabhupada at the airport. Seeing japa beads around Miss Nixon's neck, Prabhupada said, "She is a devotee." She was chanting. Miss Nixon said she was writing a book on the popular gurus and had about 15 questions to ask Srila Prabhupada. "I'm going to ask you questions," she said, "and most of the time I might be able to answer them myself." Srila Prabhupada seemed to like her, if only because she wore the japa beads. But some of the devotees flinched at her remark about already knowing the answers to the questions she was about to ask. "How did Krishna consciousness develop?" Miss Nixon asked. "Krishna consciousness is already there in everyone's core of heart," replied Srila Prabhupada. "You have seen how during the whole procession they were chanting and dancing in ecstasy. So do you think that is artificial? No. Artificially, nobody can chant and dance for hours together. That means the awakening of Krishna consciousness." Srila Prabhupada patiently and carefully answered each question about Christ, about gurus, about the daily lives of the devotees. While discussing the evils of a godless society, he mentioned the slaughter of cows. "It is an innocent animal," he said. "It is simply eating grass given by God and supplying milk. And from milk we can live. And the gratefulness is cut her throat. Is that civilization? What do you say?" "I agree 100%, Miss Nixon replied. "I want you to say these things instead of me. I am asking the questions for others, of course, who do not understand Krishna consciousness." Again, the devotees flinched. That Prabhupada did not always respond to a person's attitude or nuance did not mean that he was imperceptive. He sometimes chose not to relate to a certain idiom or react to a certain foolishness, like Miss Nixon's claims to be an expert on Krishna consciousness. And often he simply ignored a person's trivial conversation or mundane philosophy. But he was always in touch with whomever he talked to, addressing that person's true self-interest. He knew Miss Nixon didn't know the answers to the questions she asked, and he understood that she was, despite her temporarily donned japa beads, not inquiring as a submissive disciple. Nevertheless, he was compassionate, answering to enlighten both her and her readers. Miss Nixon plunged onward. "How do you feel about women's liberation?" I think she's talking about. Okay. Prabhupada remained silent, and the devotee repeated, "She wants to know about the women's liberation. What is your feeling about women's liberation?" "That I don't want to discuss," said Srila Prabhupada, because Srila Prabhupada's serious expression slowly changed to a smile, and then he laughed. Everyone laughed. His Chicago remarks were famous. On the one hand, he didn't want to start another controversy, but he did want to clear up the issue. He continued, as you have asked, so I may explain how the foolish women are being cheated by the intelligent men. In your country, they have given you liberty. Liberty means equal rights, is it not? Man and woman have equal rights. Miss Nixon, they are trying in this country. Prabhupada, all right, trying. But you women, you cannot see that this so-called equal rights means cheating the women. Now I say more clearly that a woman and man meet, now they become lovers, then they have sex, and then the woman becomes pregnant and the man goes away. The simple woman, she has to take charge of the child and beg for government arms. Please give me money. This is your independence? So you admit this is independence? Or she tries to kill the child. Do you think it is very good independence? What is your answer? Srila Prabhupada looked challengingly at both women. They had asked their questions. Now he was asking, Miss Jones, what is my answer to what is my answer to whether or not I was going to kill a child? Is that the question? Prabhupada, yes, they are killing now. Abortion. Miss Jones, well, she has made the choice. Prabhupada, you have made your choice to kill your child. Child, is that a very good choice? Miss Nixon, it's the worst crime you could make. Srila Prabhupada to Miss Jones, do you think it is very good business? Miss Jones, I think it is a very complicated question. Prabhupada, therefore I say they are cheating you in the name of independence. That you do not understand. They are cheating you, and you are thinking you are independent. Miss Nixon, they forget the responsibility that comes with freedom. Prabhupada, yes, they, the men, do not take the responsibility. They go away. They enjoy and go away. And the woman has to take the responsibility. Either kill the child or maintain begging. Do you think begging is very good? In India, although they are poverty stricken, still they do not become independent. They remain under the care of the husband, and he takes all responsibility. She has neither to kill the child nor to beg for maintaining the child. So which is independence? To maintain under a husband is independence, or to become free to be enjoyed by everyone? There is no freedom, but still they think they have freedom. That means under some plea, the men are cheating the women. That's all. So in the name of independence, they have agreed to be cheated by another class. That is the situation. Prabhupada explained that the Krishna consciousness movement had the highest regard for women, but to protect them from this exploitation by man, he said, we teach that you do like this, you do like that. You be married, be settled up, don't wander independently. We teach them like that. But so far Krishna consciousness is concerned, we equally distribute. There is no such thing that, oh, you are a woman, less intelligent or more intelligent, therefore you cannot come. We don't say that. We welcome women, man, poor, rich, everyone, because on that platform there is equality. That is equality. Next, Miss Jones began to question. Ever since Srila Prabhupada's arrival in Chicago, she had been noting what she thought was Prabhupada's excessive material opulence. You have said that you are very small, she began, and that you are not God. Yet it appears to me as an outsider that the devotees treat you as if you were God. Prabhupada, yes, that is devotee's duty, just like a government officer. Personally, he is not very important. But so long as he executes the government order, he should be respected as the government. That is the way. Even if an ordinary policeman comes, you have to respect him because he is a government man. But that does not mean he is respected. If that man thinks I have become government, people are respecting me, then he is foolish. But the etiquette is that when the government man comes, you should give him respect as the government. Okay, let's pause here. We'll continue tomorrow. Ebola. Yeah, so wonderful again, Prabhupada, taking part in all these Rath Yatra festivals all around the world, all over America, Europe, and again, very nice. We are in this week of Govardhan Puja, and since Krishna inspired the Vrajavasis to do Govardhan Puja, then Indra, with his thunderbolt, he poured down rain, heavy rain. So like that, Prabhupada has come here, and he's preaching Krishna consciousness 101 to all the non-believers, kind of, who are materially whose vision is kind of materially tinged, like Indra was in pride and anger, like that. And then it was raining for 2 days, and then Prabhupada came for the Rath Yatra, just as Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill, and the rain could not do anything, right? Similarly, the rain just stopped after that. So like that, Prabhupada has come, and the rain stopped, and the Rath Yatra started. It reminds again me, there's many instances. There's one actually where I was reading some time ago about Again, Guru Maharaj, when they would go, because Krishna, of course, ISKCON has been doing Rath Yatra for so many years now, since 1967 when it started, all for the last 5+ decades, almost 6 decades now. But many times it happens like this, Rath Yatras will have to be done, and then there'll be raining. And once Guru Maharaj, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, one devotee was telling, they were reflecting that, how once it was raining like that, and Maharaj just looked at the sky, and he just ordered, "Stop!" He pointed with his finger, and then, immediately the rain had stopped in a few minutes, and then the Rath Yatra could just continue. So like that, pure devotees like Vrajvasis, who are under the shelter of Giriraj Govardhan, they all have their individual affection and relation with the Lord. And then when they say something, then even Indra cannot do anything. So Indra is just the controller of the rain. That is his department. He's like the head of department. But when the Lord or the Lord's pure devotees give an order, just like here Prabhupada is talking about the government officer, he's as good as the government, right? So like that, a pure devotee, he's a pure devotee and he's as good as Krishna. So we respect the pure devotee as good as Krishna. When we take shelter of our Guru Varga, Srila Prabhupada, we treat them give them the respect as Krishna deserves. But again, they don't take that respect for themselves because they know that they are not the government, they are not the Lord, right? They are just simply pure servants of the Lord. And they pass on those respects to the predecessor acharyas and going all the way up to Lord himself. But that is the mood of a servant, that we serve the Guru as a Lord, but the Guru himself doesn't keep any of those respects for himself, and he just passes it on to the parampara and eventually up to the Lord. So like that. Okay, wonderful. Anybody else would like to share anything from today's reading? All right, no other thoughts? Or if somebody speaking, you're on mute. Nalin Prabhu, Pragyan Mataji, you have seen many Rath Yatras in your life. Anything you would like to share about Rath Yatra? You're worshipping Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Sudarshan ji every day at your home now. Okay. We'll talk in person then, if not on the call. All right, if there are no other thoughts, no other comments, then we will conclude for today. Thank you all for your kind association. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavrind ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Leelamrit ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Kartik Mas Mahamotsav ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.